Indeed, Penix took over the starting gig from Kirk Cousins in Week 16, and he wasn't afraid to push the ball downfield. Over the final 3 weeks of the season, the only quarterback with more completions and yards on passes at least 20 yards downfield was Minnesota's Sam Darnold. And it was a limited sample size, but Penix averaged more than 10 air yards per attempt last season. Among quarterbacks with at least 100 passes, only Indianapolis's Anthony Richardson averaged a higher rate. So, Mina, it's Penix's show now there in Atlanta. What do you want to see from him as he heads into year two?
Yeah, what we saw from Penix last year is really what we saw from him in college. He has a cannon, right, attached to his left shoulder. We knew that. It's reflected in those stats. Boy, did it show up on the field, and it was quite a contrast to Kirk Cousins. His ability to just throw to any part of the field was remarkable and is his greatest attribute. Where he needs to get better, there's a few things, but one thing that I think is really important is he has to throw more to the middle of the field. Only 44% of his throws were between the numbers. That was the second lowest rate in football, behind only Justin Fields last year. And they have to be able to access that part of the field, especially if it's a play-action-centric offense, as I think it will be. So if he can improve in that regard, I think this passing attack can really take off because it'll be a little bit less limited, as a result.
Yeah, Mina, I see it similarly. The other area is durability. He had massive challenges with durability all through his college career. But if he could stay healthy and this core can stay healthy, this is a top 10 offense. You know, Kirk Cousins was sacked about 7th least amongst all quarterbacks, so that bodes well in terms of what the offensive line can be. And you look at Darnell Mooney, averages over 15 yards a catch. Drake London, he's had over 15 touchdowns in his career. Hopefully Kyle Pitts can get back to where he was as a rookie. And obviously with Bijan Robinson, they could run the ball. So they have pieces all through their skill sets. So the big key is, can he take the second-year leap that most quarterbacks do with the full off season with Zach Robinson? And most importantly, can he get through 17 games?
Jeremy, what's going on with Kyle Pitts right now? There's some heading into the last year of his contract, some talk that he could be traded. What do you know?
Well, Dan, Atlanta seems to be open to the possibility of trading Kyle Pitts at this point. They won't force the issue, but as one source told me, if there's a good enough offer, this will probably get done. And so Kyle Pitts is not requesting a trade. I'm told he's open to staying in Atlanta. It's nothing of that matter. It's just he's at least thought about the options because, you know, they haven't had the best quarterback play over the years with what he's had in Atlanta, and he's probably going to be the 3rd or 4th option this year. He's in a contract year, so a new change of scenery could be welcome.
Yeah, Jeremy, that makes no sense to me. Here's a team that gave up a first-round pick next year to draft James Pierce. Obviously, this is a huge year. They were disappointing by only winning 8 games a year ago, and it just seems inconsistent to me with everything else they've done this offseason to trade away a player that, again, he's been inconsistent given some injuries and otherwise, but I would certainly hold on to him. You exercise the 5th-year option. Doesn't mean you have to give him a long-term deal, but that would surprise me if they would trade him at this point in the offseason.
They'd also be selling low, right, Mike? I mean, he's coming off of hhis worst season as a pro, and there have been highs that have been tantalizing. We feel a little bit like Lucy with the football when it comes to Kyle Pitts, though, because the second you start thinking, okay, this is going to happen, the reason why he was drafted where he was, and then he just disappears for games. I'm in agreement with you. It doesn't seem to match their timeline, per se. However, if for some reason some team looks at him and still thinks, man, that talent is there, and he can be that explosive, seam-stretching tight end that we think he can be, then I think Atlanta has to consider it because it would be good to recoup some draft capital that's sorely needed after the trade this year.
Who would that team be, Mina? Like, if they decide they want to move on, like, is there a team or two that makes sense to you for him?
The Chargers are the team I associate with every tight end, but this would be a bit of an odd fit in some ways because, you know, they seem to want players who can block, which is not really Kyle Pitts' game. That said, as more of a pass-catching tight end, he does pair well with their existing group. Will Dissly's a very good blocker, and they do need more verticality, which he would bring to that offense.